Hey, what's up? It's Kegan here at the Kentucky Welding Institute, and I'm going to be showing you how to set up your first welding toolkit without wasting money. So whenever you start out in the welding industry, you don't want to have the wrong tools. Having the right tools is going to make your job 10 times easier and also make you look more professional. There's nothing worse than being on a job with the wrong tool and trying to do a job that everybody's watching you do a poor job at because you don't have the right tools. So we're going to go over this toolkit, and these are the basic tools that you need to go out into the welding industry and be proficient as a traveling welder or just a welder in your local fab shop. So let's get to it. Stick around to the end of the video to find out how to get all these tools for free. So the first thing is obviously going to be your hard hat. You need a hard hat for any job site. Anywhere you're going, they're going to make you have a hard hat. So we have a hard hat here. Next thing is going to be your welding hood. Everybody needs a welding hood. Obviously, you're going to be a welder. Next thing is going to be a grinder. Everybody needs a grinder. Every welder needs a grinder. All right, the next thing you're going to need is a purge kit. So this is going to help you purge the pipe that you're welding, which is going to be alloys like stainless, copper, nickel, chrome, Inconel, and duplex. Several other alloys that you would purge. Then we have a TIG rig here. You're always going to need a TIG rig for when you're TIG welding pipe or structural. And the biggest thing with this toolkit is if you don't have the right tools for the job, you're going to be put in a bad situation. So there's several instances on jobs where you're going to have to climb up somewhere and you're going to have to make welds or do some form of work. And if you don't have the right tools for that job, you're going to be up there and you're going to figure out that you have the wrong tool for the job and you have to go back down and get the correct tools. So me personally, out in the industry, once I figured out what it is that I needed for these jobs, helped me out because I didn't have to worry if the tool room had the right tool for the job, and I didn't have to worry about borrowing tools off of other individuals. So all these tools that we're going to be going over today are the basics of what you're going to need, and they're the right tools for the welding industry, whether you're welding pipe or structural plate. So let's get to the next item. Next item is going to be knee pads. You always need knee pads just in case you're welding on grates or anything that is extremely hard on your body. The next thing is a stinger. Everybody needs a stinger for stick welding. So we got your TIG welding and your stick welding that you're always going to have to do on welding jobs, and you're going to have those in your tool buckets, okay? Next is going to be your hard hat halo. So this is going to go on your hard hat, and it's going to have a clear shield on it that's going to help you whenever you're grinding or fitting different things, or possibly whenever someone is in close proximity to you grinding, so that you don't get anything on your face. And all companies and contractors require you wear a face shield whenever you're grinding. Next is a ton of grinder wheels. So you're going to need plenty of grinder wheels. Most companies supply the grinder wheels, so you don't have to worry too much about that when you go into the welding industry. But again, if you're in high school or you're someone who isn't on a job site yet, then definitely get several grinder wheels. That'll help you get going. Next on the list is going to be some C-clamps. You never know when you're going to have to clamp something down to weld it. Next, we're going to have some wire wheels here for cleaning your stick welds or anything that needs to be cleaned, like a base metal, because one of the biggest things in the welding industry is having a clean surface. So the grinder wheels and the wire wheel are going to help you achieve that clean surface to weld on. Next is going to be a wraparound. So this is going to help you to put straight lines on pipe, which is round, to cut it. So a wraparound, and this brand is Jackson. Then we have your rod pouch here. This is what you're going to stick your welding rods in or TIG wire in when you go anywhere on the job site to make a field weld. Next, we have some pliers here. So we got some wire cutters. We have some more wire cutters here, needle nose, and some regular pliers. So these are just your standard pliers that are going to take care of most of your needs with welding, like cutting your wire or moving something out of the way or fixing one of your tools, because a lot of the times your tools will break eventually and you're going to have to fix them. So that's going to help you out there with that. Then we have a wire brush for cleaning your slag or keeping your base metal clean. And then we have a dark face shield here. So when you're cutting things with a torch, you can put that on your halo here, and it goes on like such, and then it goes on your hard hat for when you're cutting different things. Then we have a level here. So whenever you're going to fit pipe or plate, you can keep things level and straight. Here we have some channel locks You never know when you're going to need those to tighten a bottle or put your gauge on something. We have a straight edge here with a level. We have a cone rock here, so when you're cleaning out the inside of the pipe. We also have cutting discs. So these cutting discs are a little bit smaller than the grinder discs here, and these cutting discs allow you to cut pipe or cut anything that you need. So most companies provide those, but if you don't, you can go get some at Harbor Freight or your local hardware store. The next thing in the bucket is a file. Sometimes you're going to use a file to clean up the edge of your weld. What I use it mostly for is cleaning the inside of the pipe. If there's burrs after they prep it or they just got done cutting it, I like to take a file and clean out the inside of the pipe. Next, we have a tape measure. Everybody needs a tape measure because you never know when you're going to be fitting pipe or helping your fitter fit the pipe as well to get measurements. We have a clear face shield here for our hard hat. Got a chipping hammer, so when you're chipping your slag after stick welding, you have to have one of those. Next is going to be a flashlight, so I always carry a flashlight on around my neck, and that's what I check the insides of my welds with. So when I'm looking down the pipe and I'm checking my root to make sure it's good, I always have a flashlight. So that's probably one of the most important things you can have as well in your tool bucket. Next is going to be a striker. So when you're cutting things with a torch, the striker is going to help you light that up efficiently because a lot of plants and facilities don't let you have lighters in the facility. Then we're going to have a paint marker and a soapstone holder. Earplugs are mandatory on job sites. Again, most companies provide those. And then we have a tip cleaner here for cleaning out the tip of a torch. And then here we have a crescent wrench. So you're going to use a crescent wrench for just opening bottles or cages, different things on the job site. So these are all of the basic tools that you will need to go out in the industry as a proficient journeyman welder or a beginner welder. Now, these aren't every single tool that you will use, but these are all of the basic tools that we have funneled down that you will need for the welding industry. And a lot of these tools you can get at your local hardware store, but also you can get them here at the Kentucky Welding Institute whenever you come to school here. So every student that comes through our program gets this 7-gallon bucket full of all of these tools to use in school as well as keep after school and take in the industry. So hopefully we've given you guys a really good idea of what you will need when you go into the welding industry and also what you're going to get when you come to the Kentucky Welding Institute. Catch you on the next one.